Let's talk to Paul Hawkins, who's down at the High Court for us this morning. Paul, what's the latest on this, and when are we going to start hearing those arguments?
Later this morning, the court's just opened behind me. We think the hearing is due to start round about 10 o'clock, and this is effectively an 11th hour bid to get an injunction to stop that flight leaving to Rwanda on Tuesday. So there's a decent chance we're going to get a result on this, that there is going to be a decision by the High Court on this today, because it's Friday. The court obviously doesn't sit over the weekend, and then Tuesday the flight leaves. So this is action brought by two campaign groups, Care for Calais and Detention Action, along with the Public and Commercial Services Union, and four asylum seekers. They are represented by lawyers who are arguing that this policy, and I'll put it in their words, puts people's lives at risk and is an unlawful way to treat asylum seekers prior to deportation and once sent to Rwanda. They're arguing, for example, that Rwanda itself isn't as safe a country as the government claims it is, that the government is breaking its international obligations, and that effectively this policy is unlawful. And they're also hoping, and they've asked for, that if there is a decision on an injunction, that it doesn't just apply to those four asylum seekers, that it applies to stopping the flight completely. We know that there will be more asylum seekers than the number of four on that flight, and so they're saying stop the flight, don't just put an injunction in that prevents these four asylum seekers alone from having to get on that flight. Now, the Home Office is saying that the whole point of this policy is to stop people trafficking. It says anyone the Home Office considers has taken a dangerous, unnecessary or illegal journey to the UK would meet the criteria for removal, apart from lone migrant children who are exempt. So we're not just talking about people who take the boats across the channel. Anyone whose journey to the UK is dangerous, unnecessary or illegal. Of course, that does mean, though, that most of those journeys, as we know, have been across the channel. The Home Office has said that this is part of its efforts to overhaul the UK's broken, that's its words, asylum seeker system, I should say. And the government says it's committed to working with Rwanda to offer safety to those seeking asylum, and those recognised as refugees will be given an opportunity to rebuild their lives. It's a controversial policy. This is an 11th hour bid. Critics of the government say perhaps it has actually anticipated these kind of legal challenges, and that the way it wants to pitch it is that, look, the lawyers are stopping us from doing what we want to do, which is carrying out the will of the people, as they would say. This is a popular policy, and that the lawyers are getting in the way of us trying to deal with the problem of people smugglers.